Settle in, dear listener. Find a quiet corner, dim the lights, and let the world beyond fade away. Tonight, we journey to the boundless cosmos, where stars whisper ancient tales and light weaves eternal memories. In the boundless embrace of the cosmos, where the fabric of space unfolded like a vast, silken tapestry woven from threads of infinite darkness and light, there floated the celestial observatory. This wondrous sanctuary was not bound by the rigid laws of earthly architecture but existed as a living entity, suspended gently amid the swirling arms of distant galaxies. Its form shimmered with an ethereal grace, crafted from crystalline structures that captured and refracted the subtle glows of passing comets and the faint whispers of nebulae. The observatory's outer shell resembled a grand dome, translucent and ever-shifting, allowing the inhabitants to gaze outward into the endless void while feeling cradled within a cocoon of cosmic harmony. Delicate spires rose from its surface, spiraling upward like vines reaching for the stars, each one adorned with luminous orbs that pulsed softly in rhythm with the universe's quiet heartbeat. These orbs, harvested from ancient meteor showers, emitted a warm, inviting light that bathed the interior in hues of soft azure and gentle gold, creating an atmosphere where time itself seemed to slow, inviting contemplation and serene wonder. The architecture of the celestial observatory was a marvel of magical properties, blending seamlessly with the natural elements of space. Its foundations were anchored not in solid ground, but in gravitational wells formed by the gentle pull of nearby star clusters, allowing it to drift peacefully through the cosmos without ever straying from its intended path. Walls of woven starlight, flexible and resilient, adjusted to the observatory's needs, expanding during gatherings of celestial beings and contracting into cozy alcoves for moments of quiet reflection. Enchanted portals dotted the structure, portals that hummed with a low, melodic vibration, portals through which one could step into viewing chambers that magnified the beauty of distant phenomena. These chambers were lined with mirrors forged from polished asteroid fragments, mirrors that reflected not just light but echoes of cosmic events, allowing observers to relive the birth of stars or the graceful dance of planetary rings in a loop of eternal tranquility. The floors, composed of compressed nebula dust, yielded softly underfoot, like walking on a bed of fresh-fallen snow in a silent forest, absorbing sound and movement to preserve the profound peace within. Magical essences infused every aspect of the observatory's design, essences drawn from the essence of fallen meteors and the breath of solar winds. Protective auras enveloped the structure, auras that warded off the harsher elements of space, such as erratic solar flares or wandering debris, without any sense of barrier, simply redirecting them with a gentle nudge, as if the universe itself conspired to maintain harmony. Inner gardens bloomed with ethereal flora, plants that thrived on starlight alone, their petals unfurling in slow, rhythmic patterns that mirrored the observatory's own breathing. Bridges of light connected various sections, bridges that one could traverse with a mere thought, gliding effortlessly from one serene vista to another. The central atrium, a vast open space at the heart of the observatory, featured a floating orb of pure energy, an orb that served as both a source of illumination and a repository of knowledge, glowing brighter when celestial events drew near, signaling the inhabitants with a soft, pulsating warmth that filled the air with anticipation. Further exploring the magical properties, the observatory possessed the ability to harmonize with the emotions of its dwellers, its colors shifting subtly to match moods of calm reflection, deepening to velvety purples during times of introspection or lightening to pastel blues when joy bubbled forth. Enchantments woven into the very fabric allowed for instantaneous communication across vast distances, not through words but through shared visions of light, visions that danced like fireflies in the mind, conveying thoughts with perfect clarity and gentleness. The observatory's libraries, shelves carved from comet ice, held scrolls of star maps that unfolded into holographic displays, maps that one could immerse oneself in, floating amid projected constellations as if truly among them. These magical elements ensured that the celestial observatory was more than a mere structure. It was a companion to the cosmos, a place where the boundary between observer and observed blurred into a unified whole of peaceful existence. The night sky surrounding the celestial observatory was a symphony of sensory delights, a canvas alive with the quiet splendor of the universe. Stars twinkled in the distance, each one a pinpoint of light that sparkled like diamonds scattered across black velvet, their glow steady and reassuring, pulsing in a rhythm that echoed the slow inhale and exhale of cosmic breaths. Planets orbited gracefully nearby, their surfaces a mosaic of swirling clouds and serene landscapes, reflecting hues of crimson and sapphire as they caught the light from their parent suns. Nebulae bloomed like cosmic flowers in the far reaches, vast clouds of gas and dust illuminated from within by nascent stars, their colors shifting through soft pinks, vibrant greens, and deep indigos, creating a backdrop of gentle majesty that invited the eye to wander endlessly. Sensory immersion in this night sky was profound and soothing, with the faint hum of stellar winds brushing against the observatory's exterior, a sound like the distant murmur of ocean waves lapping at a tranquil shore. The air, though void, carried subtle vibrations that one could feel in the soul, vibrations from the rotation of galaxies, a low thrum that resonated through the body like a comforting lullaby. Visual feasts abounded, meteor trails streaking lazily across the vista, leaving behind trails of glittering dust that sparkled briefly before fading into the ether, adding layers of ephemeral beauty. Planets' rings, if visible, shimmered with icy particles, catching starlight and refracting it into rainbows of soft pastels, rainbows that danced slowly in the vacuum. Nebulae provided olfactory illusions in the mind, imagined scents of fresh ozone and faint floral notes, as if the gases themselves whispered of blooming worlds. Deeper into the sensory experience, the star's light warmed the spirit without heat, a gentle caress that evoked memories of sun-dappled meadows, while the darkness between them offered cool respite, a balance of light and shadow that fostered inner peace. Planets contributed their own rhythms, the slow spin creating patterns of light and dark that played across the observatory's views, patterns that one could watch for eons without boredom. Nebulae, with their expansive forms, enveloped the senses in a haze of color, their edges feathering out into the void, blending seamlessly with the surrounding space, inviting a sense of unity with the infinite. The overall atmosphere was one of quiet awe, where each element of the night sky contributed to a tapestry of serenity, drawing the observer into a meditative state of wonder. As the celestial wonders unfolded, the main character, a young starcatcher named Alara, prepared for her first starcatching. Alara's form was slender and luminous, her skin aglow with the soft sheen of moonlight, her eyes wide pools reflecting the stars above. She moved with deliberate grace through the observatory's halls, her steps light and unhurried, gathering her net woven from strands of comet silk, a net that shimmered with latent magic, ready to embrace a falling star. Reflections filled her mind as she prepared, thoughts of the vastness around her, how each star held a story of light and life, and how her role was to preserve that essence in gentle harmony. Alara's emotional preparation was a journey of quiet introspection, feeling the observatory's calm seep into her being, steadying her spirit with waves of peaceful anticipation. She pondered the beauty of the cosmos, how it mirrored her own inner light, fostering a sense of connection that bloomed like a nebula within her heart. Gentle waves of excitement mingled with serenity, not as turbulence but as soft ripples on a still pond, preparing her for the wondrous task ahead. These reflections deepened her resolve, wrapping her in a cocoon of emotional tranquility, ready to engage with the stars. The lore of starcatching was introduced softly, a tradition passed through whispers among the catchers, a purpose rooted in preserving the light of stars that chose to descend, weaving their brilliance into the fabric of the universe anew. The purpose was one of guardianship, ensuring that no light faded without honor, a gentle cycle of renewal that echoed the cosmos' eternal dance. As Alara stood at the observatory's edge, net in hand, the anticipation built like a soft crescendo, flowing naturally toward the first star's descent in the chapters to come. With the gentle warmth of the captured star shard still pulsing softly in his hands, Orion floated onward from the celestial observatory, his form gliding through the ethereal currents of space like a leaf carried on a tranquil breeze. The shard's memories lingered in his mind, whispers of ancient galaxies and serene planetary dances, filling him with a quiet sense of fulfillment. Now, drawn by an invisible thread of light, he journeyed toward the constellation Weaver's Spire, a place where captured essences were woven into eternal patterns, preserving the cosmos' luminous heritage. The path unfolded smoothly, bridges of shimmering energy connecting the observatory to the spire, each step a rhythmic drift through the void, where stars twinkled in approval and nebulae bloomed in soft, welcoming hues. The constellation Weaver's Spire rose majestically amid the cosmic expanse, a collection of floating towers that spiraled upward in harmonious elegance, each one suspended by threads of gravitational harmony rather than solid foundations. These towers, crafted from translucent crystal infused with the essence of fallen meteors, glowed with an inner light that shifted subtly from sapphire to emerald, reflecting the moods of the universe around them. Light bridges arched gracefully between the towers, woven from strands of pure starlight, their surfaces smooth and yielding underfoot, allowing one to traverse them with a sensation of walking on clouds spun from moonlight. Each bridge hummed faintly as Orion crossed, a low vibration that resonated through his being, syncing his heartbeat to the spire's serene rhythm. Deeper into the spire's architecture, rooms branched off like petals from a cosmic flower, each shaped to mimic ancient constellations. One chamber curved like the graceful arc of the Great Bear, its walls undulating in soft waves. Another formed the pointed symmetry of the Southern Cross, with ceilings that vaulted high into pointed stars. Crystal looms stood sentinel in every space, looms that sang when activated, their frames carved from resonant quartz that captured and amplified the subtle melodies of weaving. These looms were alive in their own way, responding to the touch of a weaver with gentle chimes, each note a harmonious echo of the stars being bound together. Ancient star maps etched the glowing walls, maps that pulsed with bioluminescent inks drawn from comet tails, depicting forgotten pathways through the galaxies, pathways that shifted slowly over eons, revealing new alignments as the universe breathed in and out. The spire's magical architecture extended to hidden alcoves where light pooled like liquid silver, alcoves connected by spiraling stairways of ethereal mist that one could ascend without effort, simply by willing oneself upward. Towers intertwined at their summits, forming a central nexus where energies converged, a place where the boundaries between structure and space blurred, allowing glimpses of distant quasars through semi-transparent domes. The entire spire floated in perpetual balance, anchored by the gentle pull of nearby star clusters, its movements a slow dance that mirrored the orbital grace of planets. Ornaments of polished asteroid fragments adorned the entrances, fragments that shimmered with captured auroras, casting prismatic patterns across the floors. In this wondrous design, every element invited contemplation, every curve and glow a reminder of the cosmos' infinite beauty, drawing Orion deeper into its peaceful embrace. As Orion arrived at the heart of the spire, he was introduced to the ancient art of star weaving, a practice as old as the first twinkling lights in the void, a gentle craft dedicated to binding star shards into constellations that held the universe's stories forever. The elder weavers gathered around him, their forms luminous and flowing like rivers of stardust, sharing the lore with voices that blended into a soothing chorus. Star weaving began with attuning to the shard's energy, feeling its pulse like a distant heartbeat, then guiding it into threads of light harvested from solar winds. These threads, fine and iridescent, intertwined with grains of cosmic dust that sparkled with the remnants of exploded stars, creating bonds that were both delicate and enduring. The looms of fate stood central to this art, majestic mechanisms that hummed with celestial power, their spindles turning in rhythmic cycles synchronized to the galaxy's spin. Each loom featured arms of crystal that extended like welcoming hands, arms that channeled the shard's light through intricate pathways etched with runes of harmony. As a weaver engaged the loom, it activated with a soft glow, its mechanisms weaving not through force but through resonance, aligning the shard's energies until patterns emerged like blooming flowers in the night sky. Orion watched in wonder as demonstrations unfolded, the loom's celestial mechanisms drawing in ambient light from the spire's walls, amplifying it into vibrant tapestries that floated briefly before settling into stable forms. Learning to weave star shards into constellation patterns began with simple alignments, placing shards at nodal points on the loom, points that lit up in sequence, guiding the process with gentle prompts. Orion's hands moved tentatively at first, then with growing ease, threading light through dust, watching as lines connected in graceful arcs. The process was rhythmic, repetitive, thread and bind, align and harmonize, each step building upon the last, fostering a sense of peaceful progression. Patterns emerged slowly, first as faint outlines, then as glowing networks, each connection preserving a fragment of the shard's memory, weaving it into the greater whole. In the chamber of starlight, where constellations were born, the air shimmered with nascent glows, a vast dome where woven patterns were released to float freely, maturing in the chamber's nurturing light. Walls of this chamber absorbed excess energy, recycling it back into the looms, ensuring a cycle of endless creation. Orion marveled at the chamber's expanse, where half-formed constellations drifted like clouds, their lights pulsing in unison, inviting him to contribute his own weave. Meeting the elder star weavers brought waves of gentle wisdom, their presences radiating calm like the steady glow of ancient suns. Elder Lyra, with eyes deep as black holes yet warm as dawn, spoke of cosmic balance, how each woven constellation maintained the equilibrium of light in the universe, preventing the void from overwhelming the brilliance. She shared stories of forgotten constellations, patterns from eons past that held tales of wandering comets and serene planetary alignments, stories that evoked a sense of timeless continuity. Another elder, Thorn, philosophized on light preservation, explaining how weaving locked memories into eternal forms, allowing future generations to draw upon their serenity and insight. Their teachings flowed like a tranquil stream, emphasizing personal transformations through weaving, how the act attuned one's soul to the cosmos, fostering inner peace and expanded awareness. Orion absorbed these words, feeling his own essence shift subtly, aligning more deeply with the rhythmic flow of the universe. The elder's wisdom was delivered in repetitive cadences, each phrase echoing the last, reinforcing the lessons with soothing repetition. Balance in light, light in balance. Preserve the memory, memory preserves you. Orion's first attempt at weaving a simple star pattern unfolded in the chamber's soft glow, his fingers guiding the shard's energy into a basic triangular form, a humble representation of a distant asterism. The loom sang softly as he worked, its chimes harmonizing with his breaths, the process a meditative dance of light and intent. Threads shimmered under his touch, connecting points with effortless grace, the pattern stabilizing as memories from the shard infused it with gentle hues. Discovering how woven constellations preserve cosmic memories came as a peaceful revelation, each connection in the pattern encapsulating echoes of the star's journey, whispers of nebulae births, the quiet orbit of moons, ensuring they endured beyond the shard's fleeting form. The sensory cosmic experience enveloped Orion throughout, visual wonders abounding. Shimmering threads that danced like auroras, glowing patterns that unfolded in cascades of color, from soft violets to warm ambers. Auditory delights filled the spire, harmonic looms resonating in melodic waves, star chimes tinkling like distant bells, each note a soothing echo in the vastness. Tactile sensations thrilled gently, the vibration of energy flowing through his hands, the textured warmth of light threads like silk warmed by sun, the subtle give of cosmic dust yielding under pressure. Olfactory notes wafted subtly, the crisp ozone of activated looms mingling with the earthy stardust and the faint, aged parchment scent of ancient maps, all blending into a therapeutic aroma that calmed the spirit. Visual immersion deepened with every weave, threads weaving visual symphonies of light, patterns glowing brighter yet softer, inviting endless gaze. Auditory rhythms pulsed repetitively, looms humming in cycles that mirrored breathing, chimes chiming in harmonious loops. Tactile explorations continued, energy vibrations thrumming like a gentle massage, light textures smooth and inviting, dust grains fine as powder. Olfactory layers built peacefully, ozone fresh and invigorating, stardust grounding, parchment evoking timeless wisdom. As Orion completed his first weave successfully, the simple pattern floated upward, pulsing with preserved memories, its light joining the chamber's chorus in perfect harmony. This gentle triumph carried him forward, toward the nebula gardens where woven constellations would bloom anew, the journey flowing onward in cosmic serenity. With the soft glow of his first woven constellation pattern cradled gently in his luminous hands, a simple triangle of preserved starlight pulsing with quiet harmony, Orion drifted onward from the constellation weaver's spire, his ethereal form carried by the subtle currents of the cosmos, like a petal borne on an unseen wind through the vast, whispering voids. The pattern's light trailed behind him in faint ribbons, illuminating the path ahead with a serene shimmer, guiding him toward the distant Andromeda sector, where the nebula gardens awaited in their dreamlike splendor, gardens that bloomed eternally amid swirling clouds of interstellar mist, inviting all who approached with an aura of peaceful discovery and boundless wonder. As he floated through the velvet expanse, stars winked in distant approval, their lights merging with the nebula's hazy veils, and Orion felt the universe's gentle rhythm envelop him, each moment a flowing transition into deeper realms of cosmic serenity. The journey unfolded like a slow unfurling of cosmic silk, Orion's essence gliding past clusters of young stars that twinkled with innocent curiosity, their glows blending into the approaching nebula's embrace, where colors shifted from deep indigo to soft lavender, painting the void in layers of tranquil beauty. The Andromeda sector revealed itself gradually, a vast domain where galaxies intertwined in graceful spirals, and at its heart lay the Nebula Gardens, a landscape of ethereal magnificence that stretched across light years yet felt intimately close, as if one could reach out and touch its blooming wonders. Floating islands of gaseous flowers dominated the vista, islands suspended in the nebula's nurturing haze, each one a buoyant mass of intertwined blooms and vines, drifting lazily on gravitational whispers, their edges feathering into the surrounding mists like dreams dissolving into dawn. These islands varied in size, some vast as planetary rings, others small as cometary nuclei, connected by arching bridges of condensed vapor that one could traverse with effortless grace, bridges that shimmered with embedded specks of cosmic dust, sparkling like dew on morning leaves. Rivers of liquid starlight flowed between the blooms, meandering streams that glowed with a fluid luminescence, their surfaces rippling in slow, hypnotic waves, carrying nutrients of pure energy from distant suns to feed the garden's endless growth. These rivers wound through the islands in intricate patterns, forming loops and cascades that spilled into misty pools, their light reflecting off petal surfaces in prismatic displays, creating rainbows that arched softly across the nebula's expanse. Color-shifting petals adorned every bloom, petals that responded to the subtle echoes of memories passing nearby, turning from pale blue to warm amber as thoughts of joy or reflection brushed against them. A living canvas where emotions painted themselves in gentle hues, inviting observers to lose themselves in the ever-changing tapestry. Architectural features grown from living light rose amid the flora, spires of crystallized star essence that twisted upward like natural sculptures, pavilions woven from vine-like tendrils that formed open-air sanctuaries, and arbors of bioluminescent arches that framed views of the surrounding cosmos, all harmonizing with the garden's organic flow, as if the universe itself had sculpted these forms in moments of inspired tranquility. Deeper into the landscape, the island's terrains unfolded in layers of sensory delight, with undulating hills of soft gaseous terrain yielding underfoot like plush moss, and valleys where blooms clustered in dense groves, their collective glow illuminating hidden grottos filled with echoing chimes. The nebula's gases swirled in protective veils around the gardens, veils that filtered starlight into nourishing spectra, allowing the flowers to thrive in perpetual bloom, while distant quasars provided a backdrop of faint, rhythmic pulses, syncing the entire scene to the cosmos' serene heartbeat. Architectural wonders continued to reveal themselves. Gazebos of intertwined light vines that hummed softly when approached, offering shaded nooks for contemplation. Pathways lined with petal borders that lit up in sequence, guiding visitors through the garden's meandering routes, and central atria where multiple islands converged, forming amphitheaters of natural beauty, seats carved from solidified mist inviting one to sit and absorb the panoramic splendor. In this floating paradise, every element blended seamlessly, a symphony of form and light where discovery flowed as naturally as the starlight rivers, drawing Orion ever deeper into its peaceful embrace. As Orion alighted upon the first island, his constellation pattern resonating with the garden's ambient light, he discovered the memory blooms that grew from cosmic dust, delicate wonders born from the remnants of ancient stars, dust that settled in fertile nebula pockets and sprouted into vibrant life, each bloom a vessel for preserving the universe's intangible echoes. These memory blooms varied in exquisite detail, each type attuned to different facets of remembrance, their properties weaving a tapestry of emotional preservation amid the garden's ethereal haze. Joy blossoms shimmered in golden hues, their petals broad and radiant, emitting a warm light that bathed surroundings in comforting glows, light that evoked the laughter of distant worlds and the triumph of stellar births, their centers pulsing with tiny orbs of captured sunshine, inviting touch to release waves of gentle euphoria. Sorrow petals unfolded in silvery elegance, cool to the touch like moonlit dew, their slender forms drooping gracefully yet resiliently, holding memories of faded lights and quiet farewells, their essence releasing a soothing chill that transformed melancholy into peaceful acceptance, petals that absorbed ambient tears of cosmic rain to nourish their growth. Hope vines twined in iridescent spirals, constantly moving in subtle undulations, their leaves shifting colors from emerald to turquoise as aspirations brushed against them, vines that climbed invisible trellises of gravity, bearing fruits of luminous seeds that promised renewal, each movement a rhythmic dance symbolizing the eternal cycle of possibility. Dream orchids bloomed in transparent splendor, their petals like glass veils revealing inner visions of imagined realms, orchids that captured subconscious wanderings from across the galaxies, displaying holographic scenes of ethereal landscapes when gazed upon, their fragility belying a strength drawn from the nebula's dreaming mists. Love lilies graced the gardens in pink profusions, pulsing with a gentle rhythm akin to heartbeats, their broad cups filled with nectar that glowed softly, preserving bonds of affection from star-crossed lovers and planetary kinships, lilies that synchronized their pulses to the emotions of nearby beings, fostering a sense of interconnected warmth. Each variety intertwined with the others, creating hybrid groves where joy blossoms mingled with hope vines, their combined lights forming auras of optimistic radiance, or sorrow petals nestled among love lilies, balancing introspection with tender empathy. The properties of these blooms extended beyond mere aesthetics, with joy blossoms radiating energy that stimulated nearby growth, sorrow petals providing cooling shade to prevent overheating from intense starlight, hope vines anchoring islands against cosmic drifts, dream orchids inspiring new patterns in the nebulous swirls, and love lilies attracting pollinators of light motes that spread memories across the gardens. In this diversity, the memory blooms formed a living archive, each type a chapter in the cosmos' emotional narrative, blooming eternally in harmonious variety. Amid the blooming expanse, Orion encountered the Keeper of Memories, an ancient guardian woven from strands of light and accumulated remembrances, her form a flowing cascade of translucent veils that shimmered with embedded fragments of forgotten eras, eyes like twin nebulae holding depths of infinite wisdom. The Keeper glided gracefully through the gardens, her presence evoking a profound calm, as she shared gentle teachings about emotional preservation, explaining how each bloom captured not just events, but the feelings they evoked, safeguarding the universe's soul against the void's forgetfulness. She recounted stories of significant memories in the garden, tales of a joy blossom that held the first laugh of a newborn planet, or a sorrow petal preserving the quiet lament of a supernova's end, stories delivered in a melodic cadence that resonated with the river's flow. Her philosophy centered on balancing different emotions, weaving joy with sorrow to create resilience, hope with dreams to foster aspiration, and love as the binding thread that unified all, teachings that flowed like a serene stream, emphasizing how imbalance led to faded blooms but harmony ensured eternal vibrancy. Through weaving, the Keeper revealed personal transformations, how tending the gardens attuned one's essence to cosmic empathy, allowing beings like Orion to integrate their own memories into the greater whole, fostering inner peace and expanded understanding. Her wisdom unfolded in layers, each revelation building upon the last, a meditative dialogue that deepened Orion's connection to the garden's ethereal purpose. The sensory garden experience enveloped Orion in a fusion of floral and cosmic delights, visual spectacles swirling in nebula colors from vibrant crimsons to soothing violets, bioluminescent plants glowing in rhythmic pulses that illuminated the island's contours. Auditory harmonies filled the air, chiming petals tinkling like distant bells when breezes stirred them, humming light rivers murmuring in low, resonant tones that echoed through the mists. Tactile sensations delighted with velvet petals soft as silk under fingertips, cool starlight mist clinging like gentle dew, evoking a refreshing embrace. Olfactory notes wafted subtly, cosmic honey sweet and golden from joy blossoms, ozone crisp from sorrow petals, floral sweetness blending in harmonious bouquets. Emotional evocations arose from each memory blossom, joy blossoms stirring waves of uplift, sorrow petals offering cathartic release, hope vines inspiring quiet optimism, dream orchids unveiling inner visions, love lilies warming the heart with affectionate glows. These senses intertwined, visuals dancing with auditories in synesthetic bliss, tactiles enhancing olfactory layers, all evoking emotional depths that soothed the spirit. The pool of reflections shimmered at the garden's core, a basin of mirrored starlight where memories were viewed, its surface rippling to reveal scenes from blooms dipped within, allowing Orion to witness his own triggered remembrances. A childhood stargaze evoked by a dream orchid, a bond with mentors from a love lily. Different colored nebula gases affected memory growth, blues fostering introspective sorrow petals, yellows nurturing joy blossoms, purples enhancing dream orchids, each hue a catalyst in the symbiotic relationship between stars and memory plants, where starlight fed the blooms, and blooms in turn amplified stellar radiance, a cycle of mutual sustenance. Learning how memories were preserved in nebula petals came through the Keeper's guidance, petals absorbing essences via porous structures that locked them in crystalline lattices, eternal and accessible. Orion participated in the gentle harvesting of memory blooms, his hands gliding softly to pluck matured petals, releasing them into collection orbs with care, each harvest a meditative act of reverence. Understanding the connection between starlight and remembrance deepened as he saw how light infused petals with vitality, turning fleeting thoughts into enduring forms. The nightly bloom unfolding ceremony crowned the experience, blooms opening in synchronized waves under the nebulous twilight, their petals unfurling in slow, poetic motions, releasing stored memories in luminous displays that danced across the gardens. A ritual of collective wonder where all beings gathered in silent awe. As Orion grasped the profound art of memory preservation, his essence enriched by the garden's teachings, he felt a natural pull toward the outer reaches, where the comet chasers awaited in their graceful pursuits, the journey flowing onward in cosmic tranquility. As the final petals of the bloom unfolding ceremony drifted lazily into the nebula's embracing mists, their lights fading into soft echoes of preserved memories, Orion felt a gentle tug within his luminous essence, a subtle invitation carried on the cosmic winds that whispered of further wonders awaiting in the outer reaches of the Andromeda sector. The keeper of memories, her form shimmering with the accumulated glow of countless remembrances, extended a flowing tendril of light toward him, her voice a melodic murmur blending with the garden's fading chimes, offering him passage to join the comet chasers on their celestial voyage, a voyage that sailed through the vast seas of space in pursuit of wandering lights, where exploration unfolded like the slow unfurling of a cosmic sail, drawing him onward in waves of peaceful anticipation and boundless curiosity. The invitation flowed like a river of starlight, guiding Orion through the nebula's veils toward a distant rendezvous point, where the comet chaser's vessel awaited, its silhouette emerging from the haze like a dream taking form. And as he approached, the chasers themselves appeared, ethereal beings with forms that trailed faint comet-like auras, their eyes reflecting the infinite paths they had traversed, welcoming him with open gestures that resonated with the universe's harmonious rhythm. The captain of the comet chasers, an ancient figure named Vesper, stood at the forefront, her presence woven from threads of timeless wisdom, her skin etched with faint maps of long-forgotten orbits, her voice a soothing cadence that evoked the gentle hum of passing asteroids, sharing tales of voyages past as she extended her hand, inviting Orion aboard their ship, the Starlight Weaver, a craft that promised journeys of serene discovery amid the cosmic tides. Boarding the Starlight Weaver felt like stepping into a living poem of light and motion, the ship a masterpiece constructed from memory wood harvested from ancient celestial forests and captured starlight bound in delicate lattices, its hull curving gracefully like the arc of a comet's tail, glowing with an inner luminescence that pulsed in time with the surrounding stars, inviting all who entered to feel the universe's gentle embrace. The memory wood, drawn from trees that grew in the hearts of dying nebulae, retained echoes of forgotten eras, its grains shimmering with embedded remembrances that whispered softly as one brushed against them, providing a foundation both sturdy and yielding, like walking on clouds infused with history. Captured starlight formed the ship's framework, strands of brilliance woven into beams and panels that shifted hues from silver to gold, responding to the moods of the cosmos, illuminating the interior with a warm, diffused glow that fostered a sense of eternal tranquility. Sails billowed from the ship's masts, sails crafted from translucent veils of solar silk that caught the solar winds and cosmic breezes, unfurling in slow, rhythmic waves that propelled the vessel forward without haste, each flutter a dance with the invisible currents that flowed through space like gentle ocean swells. These sails shimmered with prismatic edges, refracting nearby starlight into rainbows that trailed behind the ship, creating a wake of color that blended seamlessly with the nebula's mists, allowing the Starlight Weaver to glide effortlessly, its motion a poetic symphony of grace and flow. The navigation room nestled at the ship's core, a domed chamber where star charts moved and breathed like living entities. Charts etched on scrolls of nebula parchment that unfolded to reveal holographic projections of galactic paths, stars twinkling in real time, constellations shifting subtly as the universe turned, guiding the chasers with breaths of light that rose and fell in meditative patterns. Living quarters filled the lower decks, cozy alcoves bathed in gentle, pulsating light from embedded orbs of preserved comet essence. Each space adorned with hammocks woven from asteroid fibers that swayed softly with the ship's rhythm, inviting restful contemplation amid cushions of compressed cosmic foam that molded to one's form like a nurturing cloud. Observation decks crowned the upper levels, platforms encircled by crystal-clear barriers of transparent energy that offered unobstructed views of the cosmos. Decks where one could stand and watch the stars drift by, the barriers humming faintly with protective harmonies, ensuring safety while allowing the full immersion of space's wonders to wash over the senses. Every detail of the Starlight Weaver harmonized, from the memory wood's subtle creaks that echoed like distant lullabies to the starlight's warm pulses that synced with heartbeats, creating a vessel that was not merely a means of travel, but a companion in the endless dance of celestial exploration, carrying Orion deeper into the voyage with each flowing moment. The journey through the asteroid belts and cosmic currents unfolded like a serene sail across starlit seas, the Starlight Weaver weaving between clusters of drifting rocks that tumbled lazily in their eternal orbits, each asteroid a silent sentinel glowing faintly under the ship's passing light, the belts parting gently as if in welcome, allowing passage without a whisper of disruption. Cosmic currents carried them onward, invisible streams of gravitational flow that rippled through space like underwater rivers, guiding the ship in undulating waves that evoked the rise and fall of oceanic breaths, the sails catching these breezes with effortless grace, propelling them toward the outer voids where comets roamed in their timeless paths. Vesper, the captain, shared her ancient wisdom during the voyage, her words flowing like the currents themselves, recounting how the chasers had navigated these realms for eons, attuning to the universe's subtle songs, her presence a beacon of calm that deepened the meditative quality of the journey, each tale a thread in the tapestry of cosmic lore. As they sailed, Orion learned the art of reading comet tales and their memory patterns, tales that stretched like luminous veils across the darkness, each swirl and streak a language of preserved histories, patterns that swirled in hypnotic spirals, revealing stories of ancient passages through solar systems and nebulae. The chasers taught him to observe the subtle variations, how a tale's curvature spoke of gravitational dances with distant planets, its brightness echoing the intensity of embedded memories, all unfolding in a poetry of motion that invited quiet reflection and wondrous insight. The first encounter with a memory comet arrived like a gentle dawn, the comet emerging from the void with a tail of shimmering azure and gold, its core of ice glowing softly, unique properties radiating an aura that hummed with preserved echoes from the universe's dawn. Memory comets possess tails of varying colors indicating memory types, blues for introspective remembrances of quiet stellar births, golds for joyous tales of galactic formations, each hue a key to the stories within, tales that fanned out in elegant fans, preserving ancient narratives in frozen lattices. The comet ice held these stories in crystalline perfection, ice that formed from primordial vapors, locking away visions of cosmic events in layers that could be read like pages in an eternal book, ice that emitted faint music as it sublimated, songs of harmonic notes that blended with the ship's sails, creating symphonies of serenity. Energy patterns emanated from the comet, subtle waves that influenced nearby star systems with gentle nudges, fostering balance and renewal, while the historical significance of its path traced routes that mirrored ancient migrations of light, paths that had witnessed the birth of constellations long ago. The comet chasers' rituals enveloped the encounter in layers of harmonious tradition, beginning with preparing the light nets for dust collection. Nets woven from strands of solar filament that unfolded like blooming flowers, their meshes attuned to capture comet dust without altering its flow, each preparation a rhythmic dance of extension and alignment, fostering a sense of communal peace. Chanting harmonies followed, voices rising in soft cadences to align with the comet's frequencies, chants that resonated through the ship, syncing essences with the comet's song, harmonies that flowed like waves, in and out, drawing the vessel closer in gentle synchrony. Reading the comet tail patterns deepened the ritual, interpreting swirls as symbols of forgotten eras, meanings that revealed themselves in meditative focus, each pattern a verse in the cosmos' endless poem. Gentle harvesting techniques respected the cosmic balance, light nets dipping into the tail's edge to collect dust in whispering scoops, techniques that left the comet undisturbed, its trajectory continuing unaltered, the collection an act of reverence that honored the wanderer's journey. Celebration after successful dust collection came as a quiet gathering on the observation deck, sharing the harvested essence in glowing orbs, toasts of light that pulsed with gratitude, celebrations that unfolded in slow toasts and shared gazes at the receding comet, reinforcing the bonds of the chasers in tranquil unity. Discovering how comet tails preserve ancient cosmic histories revealed layers of wonder, tails acting as archives where dust particles held fragments of traversed realms, histories that spanned galaxies, differing from star memories in their transient fluidity. Stars held steady glows of singular events, nebulae bloomed with emotional collectives, but comets wove nomadic tales of movement and change, memories that evolved with each passage. The relationship between comet paths and constellation patterns emerged as interwoven fates, comets tracing lines that inspired weavers' designs, their orbits echoing the fixed stars' arrangements, a symbiotic dance where wandering lights informed the eternal maps. Peaceful moments of watching galaxies rotate in the distance punctuated the voyage, vast spirals turning in slow majesty, their arms unfurling like cosmic arms in embrace, moments where time stretched infinitely, allowing Orion to absorb the universe's dreamy flow. Celestial journey senses immersed him fully, visual spectacles of streaking comet lights painting the void in luminous arcs, swirling cosmic dust forming ethereal clouds that shimmered in passing. Auditory delights filled the air with harmonic comet songs that vibrated through the hull, shipwood creaking in gentle response like a lullaby's undertone. Tactile vibrations hummed through the deck underfoot, cool comet dust sifting like fine snow on skin, evoking refreshing caresses. Olfactory notes wafted of crisp ozone from ionized tails, ancient ice carrying hints of primordial frost, star metal scents grounding and metallic yet soothing. Kinesthetic sensations of floating weightlessness blended with gentle cosmic currents that rocked the ship like a cradle on waves, each sense weaving into a tapestry of meditative bliss. Orion's first successful comet dust collection came amid this sensory symphony, his light net extending with newfound grace, capturing a swirl of azure dust that glowed with ancient whispers, the moment a culmination of learned wisdom, filling him with quiet fulfillment as the chasers nodded in approval. As the dust settled into orbs of preservation, Vesper bestowed upon him the title of honorary comet chaser, her words flowing like the currents themselves, marking his integration into their wandering fold. And with this gentle accolade, the voyage turned inward, toward the galaxy's heart where all celestial paths converged in harmonious unity, the journey continuing in the cosmos' eternal tide. With the azure glow of harvested comet dust still shimmering in the orbs cradled within the starlight weaver's holds, its ancient whispers echoing softly through the ship's memorywood halls, Orion stood upon the observation deck as an honorary comet chaser, his essence enriched by the nomadic tales of wandering lights, feeling the cosmic tides shift inward, drawing the vessel toward the luminous core that pulsed at the universe's center. Vesper, the captain, with her etched maps of orbits glowing faintly, turned to him with a reverent nod, her voice a flowing murmur like the convergence of stellar streams, inviting him to witness the galaxy's heart, the primordial cosmic core where all beginnings intertwined in eternal harmony. a journey that unfolded like the slow awakening of dawn across infinite voids, carrying them deeper into realms of awe and transformative wonder, without a hint of haste or discord. The path to the galaxy's heart wove through veils of deepening light, the starlight weaver gliding on currents that grew warmer and more vibrant, as if the cosmos itself breathed life into their sails, propelling them past swirling arms of stars that bowed in silent reverence. Each rotation a meditative cycle of creation and renewal. As they approached, the architecture of the galaxy's heart revealed itself in layers of sublime grandeur. A vast expanse where energy patterns danced in harmonious symphonies, the core a colossal sphere of interwoven luminosities, its surface rippling with waves of primordial essence that emanated from within, like the heartbeat of existence itself, pulsing in rhythms that synchronized with the souls of all who beheld it. Towering arches of condensed plasma arched across the void, arches that formed natural gateways woven from the threads of gravitational harmony, their curves elegant and eternal, glowing with hues of deepest violet transitioning to radiant gold, each arch a conduit for the flow of cosmic energies that nourished distant galaxies. Deeper within, crystalline spires rose from the core's periphery, spires forged in the fires of the universe's dawn, their facets refracting light into infinite prisms that painted the surrounding space in cascades of color, patterns that shifted slowly, revealing hidden geometries of balance and unity, geometries that mirrored the sacred forms of nascent stars. Energy patterns swirled in vast vortices, vortices of light that spiraled inward toward the heart, carrying streams of ethereal particles that hummed with latent potential, patterns that formed mandalas of luminescence, each layer building upon the last in meditative repetition, inviting contemplation of the infinite. The architecture extended to floating platforms of solidified light, platforms that orbited the core in serene ellipses, their surfaces etched with runes of ancient creation, runes that glowed brighter as energies converged, creating bridges of pure radiance that connected disparate realms, allowing beings to traverse the heart's domains with effortless grace. These energy patterns pulsed with a life of their own, waves of primordial force that undulated like gentle breaths, inhaling the remnants of distant supernovae and exhaling bursts of creative spark, patterns that wove through the architecture in rhythmic flows, illuminating hidden chambers where light coalesced into embryonic forms, chambers lined with membranes of translucent ether that vibrated in harmony, fostering an atmosphere of profound peace. The galaxy's heart's core thrummed with the central nexus, a luminous orb encircled by rings of orbiting crystals, rings that rotated in synchronized dances, their movements generating fields of stabilizing energy that maintained the balance of all galactic motions, architecture that blended form and function in divine symmetry, each element a testament to the universe's inherent order, drawing Orion into a state of reverent awe as the ship docked gently at one of the floating platforms. The transition seamless and inviting. Upon arrival, Orion encountered the Crystal Guardians, ancient protectors of the galaxy's center, beings whose forms were sculpted from shards of the first crystals born in the primordial chaos, their presences radiating an aura of timeless wisdom and serene guardianship, each guardian towering yet approachable, their facets reflecting the cosmos in multifaceted depths. The lead guardian, named Etheron, extended a crystalline limb in welcome, its surface shimmering with embedded stars, his voice resonating like the chime of eternal bells, sharing the wisdom of eons, teachings that flowed like crystalline streams, recounting how they had emerged from the core's initial light to safeguard its purity, ensuring that the flow of creation remained untainted and harmonious. Their ancient presence evoked a sense of continuity, bodies that had witnessed the universe's first stirrings, presence that infused the air with a calming resonance, allowing visitors to attune to the heart's rhythms without effort. Etheron's wisdom unfolded in layers of profound insight, explaining the guardianship as a meditative vigil, where each crystal absorbed and redistributed energies, balancing the influx of cosmic memories to prevent overload. wisdom that emphasized the interconnectedness of all light, how their presence wove the threads of stars into a unified tapestry. Other guardians joined in harmonious chorus, their voices blending in repetitive cadences, sharing stories of ancient epochs when the heart first pulsed, presence that transformed the space into a sanctuary of learning, each facet revealing visions of past creations, fostering a deep sense of belonging. The Guardian's wisdom extended to the philosophy of protection, viewing it not as defense but as nurturing flow, allowing energies to circulate freely while guiding them with gentle intent. Ancient presence that inspired personal growth, inviting Orion to reflect on his own journey amid their crystalline glow. Their teachings continued in flowing narratives, wisdom on the cycles of birth and renewal, how guardians facilitated the emergence of new stars by channeling primordial light, presence that felt like an embrace of the infinite, each word a gem of enlightenment that deepened the meditative atmosphere. The crystal guardians stood as eternal sentinels, their forms unchanging yet ever-adapting, wisdom that bridged the primordial to the present, allowing Orion to absorb their essence in waves of transformative serenity, each interaction a step toward greater understanding. The discovery of the primordial starlight source came as a gentle unveiling, the guardians leading Orion to the heart's innermost sanctum, where the source manifested as a boundless well of pure luminescence, a fountain of light that bubbled forth from the void's depths, its properties radiating an essence older than time, light that held the blueprint of all creation, properties that allowed it to birth stars with inherent memories of unity and wonder. Sensory experience enveloped him in primordial warmth, the light's touch like the first caress of dawn, soft and enveloping, evoking sensations of infinite potential, light that pulsed in slow, meditative waves, each wave carrying sense of nascent ether, crisp and invigorating like the breath of creation itself. Properties of the primordial light included its malleability, shaping itself to the observer's essence, reflecting personal origins while revealing universal truths, light that hummed with auditory symphonies of harmonic origins, tones that resonated through the soul like ancient lullabies. Sensory immersion deepened with tactile vibrations, the light's energy flowing like liquid silk over skin, cool yet warming, textures that shifted from smooth to effervescent, bubbling with creative spark. Olfactory notes arose subtly, aromas of pure ozone mingled with floral hints of blooming voids, while visual spectacles unfolded in cascades of color, from purest white to iridescent spectrums that danced in hypnotic patterns, experience that fostered a meditative trance, drawing Orion into communion with the source. The light's properties extended to its connective nature, linking all stellar memories back to this origin, sensory waves that evoked emotional awakenings, feelings of profound belonging and timeless peace, light that revealed visions of stellar births, each property a layer in the transformative experience, allowing deep reflection amid its glow. Learning about the birth of stars and their first memories flowed naturally from the Guardian's guidance, tales of how primordial light coalesced into stellar forms, imbuing them with initial remembrances of harmony, memories that served as seeds for cosmic narratives. Participating in the ancient light-weaving ceremony marked the pinnacle, guardians encircling the source as threads of light were drawn forth, woven in rhythmic patterns that mirrored creation's dance, Orion joining with tentative grace, his hands guiding strands that pulsed with life. The ceremony a meditative ritual of unity, each weave reinforcing the connections between all star memories and the core, understanding dawning like a gentle sunrise. Orion's personal connection to the primordial light emerged during the weave, a resonance that stirred within him, revealing fragments of his own essence born from this source, a bond that filled him with awe, leading to revelations about his destiny as a starcatcher, visions showing him as a bridge between wandering lights and eternal cores, transformation unfolding in waves of self-realization, his form glowing brighter with integrated wisdom, destiny as guardian and weaver of cosmic tales. Destiny revelations deepened in meditative flows, the light unveiling paths where Orion would preserve and connect memories across realms. Personal transformation manifesting as expanded awareness, essence evolving toward greater harmony. Revelations that inspired quiet fulfillment, each insight a step in his eternal journey. As these primordial wonders settled within him, Orion felt the heart's pulse guide him onward, toward the eternal light where preserved essences merged in timeless repose, the journey continuing in the cosmos' reverent embrace. With the primordial light's revelations still resonating within his transformed essence, Orion felt the galaxy's heart release him gently into the cosmic flow, its pulses guiding him toward the eternal light vault, a sanctuary nestled in the core's outermost veils where destinies like his were honed into eternal guardianship, a place of methodical serenity where training unfolded like the slow blooming of a cosmic flower, drawing him into sequences of peaceful mastery and gentle learning, each step a rhythmic breath in the universe's vast meditation. The journey to the eternal light vault carried Orion on streams of harmonious energy, the starlight weaver fading into the distance as crystalline pathways materialized, pathways that shimmered with the heart's lingering glow, leading him through layers of luminous ether where stars whispered encouragements, their lights blending into a soothing backdrop that invited reflection and anticipation. As he arrived, the vault revealed itself as an immense structure woven from threads of timeless light, its form expansive yet intimate, chambers branching like roots of an ancient tree of creation, each one pulsing with a methodical rhythm that synced with the cosmos' eternal cycle, fostering an atmosphere of deep philosophical undertones and educational tranquility. The eternal light vault's chambers and functions formed a symphony of preservation, each space dedicated to facets of memory's eternal safeguard. The vault's architecture a marvel of balanced design where walls of translucent crystal absorbed and reflected ambient light, creating interiors that shifted in soft gradients from pearl to amber, inviting explorers to wander in peaceful contemplation. The entry atrium served as the welcoming heart, a vast dome where incoming essences were attuned, its ceiling a mosaic of embedded star shards that rotated slowly, projecting patterns of galactic history onto the floors below, floors of polished ether that yielded softly underfoot. Functions here focused on initial harmonization, aligning newcomers like Orion with the vault's resonant frequencies through gentle waves of light that washed over them, preparing the soul for deeper immersion. Adjoining chambers branched outward in methodical progression, the Chamber of Echoes dedicated to auditory preservation, where memories manifested as harmonious tones, walls lined with resonant crystals that captured whispers from distant worlds, functions allowing trainees to listen and store sonic remembrances, each echo a layer in the vault's archive, pulsing in rhythmic cycles that educated through sound alone. The visual sanctum followed, a spherical room where light patterns danced in holographic displays, functions centered on crystallizing visual memories, with orbs of pure spectrum floating freely, trainees learning to weave colors into stable forms that endured eons, the chamber's air humming with visual symphonies that soothed and instructed in equal measure. Deeper still lay the tactile repository, a chamber of textured wonders where memories of touch were preserved, surfaces varying from smooth nebulous silk to the gentle give of comet ice, functions teaching the encapsulation of sensations into crystalline lattices, allowing one to feel the warmth of ancient suns or the cool drift of cosmic winds, all in a balanced flow that promoted methodical mastery. The olfactory grove bloomed nearby, a garden-like space filled with ethereal mists that carried scents of primordial gases and blooming stars, functions dedicated to scent-based preservation, trainees attuning to subtle aromas that evoked forgotten realms, the chamber's design fostering a sensory education that unfolded like petals in dawn's light. The core archive stood at the vault's center, a multi-leveled nexus where all chambers converged, functions integrating diverse memories into unified crystals, its architecture featuring spiraling ramps of light that led to alcoves of contemplation, each alcove equipped with viewing portals that revealed the vault's connections to the wider cosmos, ensuring that preservation served the balance of existence. Auxiliary chambers included the temporal weave, where time's influence on memories was studied, functions balancing the flow of past and future echoes, and the emotional harmony room, dedicated to emotional resonances, its walls absorbing and redistributing feelings in gentle waves, all chambers functioning in rhythmic unity, their purposes interwoven to create a soothing educational tapestry that guided Orion through his training with profound philosophical depth. Orion's training commenced in these chambers, learning to preserve star memories for eternity through sequences of gentle practice, each lesson a methodical step in the art of guardianship, his essence attuning to the vault's serene pace as guardians demonstrated the flows of light and intent. Meeting other starcatchers enriched this journey, beings from across the galaxies who gathered in communal alcoves, sharing wisdom in voices that blended like harmonious chords, each one a repository of stories that illuminated the path to mastery. One such catcher, named Selene, with a form of flowing silver light, shared her tale of catching a star from a distant spiral arm, her wisdom emphasizing patience and preservation, stories unfolding in rhythmic retellings that evoked the calm of eternal cycles, her presence a soothing guide as she demonstrated techniques in the visual sanctum. Another, Thorn, a robust figure etched with comet trails, recounted voyages through asteroid veils, his stories weaving philosophical undertones of interconnectedness, sharing how memories bridged worlds, his laughter a gentle rumble that fostered camaraderie amid the training. In the tactile repository, Orion met Leora, a catcher whose essence shimmered with nebula hues, her stories of harvesting memories from blooming gardens revealing insights into emotional balance, narratives delivered in flowing sentences that mirrored the vault's rhythms, inspiring Orion to reflect on his own destiny. Groups formed in the core archive, where catchers like Aloan, with eyes deep as black holes, shared collective wisdom on integration, stories of collaborative weaves that preserved entire constellations, each tale a layer in the educational atmosphere, promoting gentle learning through shared experiences. These fellow starcatchers brought diverse backgrounds, from wanderers of comet paths to guardians of nebula groves, their stories intertwining in sessions of quiet exchange, each one contributing to Orion's growth. The atmosphere one of mutual reverence where wisdom flowed like light through crystals, stories repeating in meditative loops that deepened understanding, fostering a sense of community that soothed the soul and prepared for mastery. Mastering the art of memory crystallization became the core of Orion's training, processes that unfolded in methodical sequences across the chambers, beginning with attuning to a memory's essence, feeling its pulse like a distant star's heartbeat, then guiding it into crystalline forms through waves of focused intent. In the Chamber of Echoes, crystallization involved capturing sonic patterns, processes where sound waves were slowed and solidified into resonant gems, each step rhythmic, align, resonate, encase, repeating until the crystal hummed with eternal fidelity, techniques that required balance of volume and silence, preserving the memory's purity without distortion. The visual sanctum taught visual crystallization, processes drawing light strands into prismatic structures, trainees weaving colors in repetitive patterns, layer upon layer, until visions locked into facets that replayed endlessly, methods emphasizing harmony of hue and shade, each crystallization a meditative act that transformed fleeting images into timeless artifacts. Tactile processes in the repository involved infusing textures into crystal matrices, gentle infusions where sensations were compressed and stabilized, rhythmic compressions that balanced intensity and subtlety, ensuring touches endured through ages. Olfactory crystallization in the grove required distilling scents into aromatic crystals, processes of evaporation and condensation in slow cycles, each phase a philosophical reflection on essence's transmutation, balancing volatility with permanence. The core archive integrated these, holistic processes where multisensory memories crystallized into unified orbs, techniques of convergence where elements flowed together in harmonious blends, repeating fusions that taught the art's depth, Orion practicing until his crystallizations glowed with mastered precision. Each process a soothing journey of creation and preservation. Understanding the balance between light and time permeated every lesson, a philosophy that underscored the vault's teachings, light as the vessel of memory, time as its gentle sculptor, balance achieved through mindful equilibrium where too much light overwhelmed, too much time faded, catchers learning to calibrate flows in meditative exercises, philosophy delivered in rhythmic discourses that evoked cosmic tides, in and out, light and time in eternal dance. Preparation for the final initiation ceremony built upon this, sequences of reflective practices in the temporal weave, where Orion balanced simulated memories, philosophy deepening his resolve. The ceremony a culmination of mastery, preparations unfolding in peaceful anticipation, revealing the vault's connection to all living beings, how preserved memories nourished souls across the universe, a web of light linking every essence. As Orion neared readiness, the vault's pulses guided him toward the ceremony's threshold, flowing naturally to the eternal light where legacies were sealed in timeless glow, the journey continuing in harmonious serenity. As the final crystallizations of memory settled into harmonious repose within the eternal light vault, their glows pulsing in unified rhythm with Orion's newly mastered essence, a profound sense of completion washed over him like the gentle tide of a cosmic sea, marking the end of his methodical training and the dawn of his true calling. The vault's chambers hummed with a celebratory anticipation, their lights aligning in patterns that pointed outward, guiding Orion toward the luminous citadel, a radiant bastion suspended at the nexus of converging celestial paths, where the grand conjunction awaited, a momentous alignment that would usher in his final initiation, weaving the threads of his journey into the eternal fabric of the universe. Each step forward a ceremonial stride filled with uplifting transformation and resonant joy. The grand conjunction of celestial bodies unfolded as a magnificent symphony of alignment, where stars, planets, comets, and nebulae converged in a dance of perfect harmony, their paths intertwining across the vast canvas of space like threads in a grand tapestry, creating phenomena that illuminated the cosmos with unparalleled brilliance. This conjunction, occurring once in eons, began with the slow gathering of distant galaxies, their spiral arms reaching out in graceful arcs, spiraling inward toward a central point of luminous convergence, where gravitational harmonies pulled them into synchronized orbits, each rotation a celebratory turn that released waves of multicolored light, hues shifting from deepest crimson to purest azure, painting the void in strokes of joyous splendor. Stars from myriad clusters aligned in precise formations, their lights merging to form ephemeral bridges of radiance that spanned light years, bridges that shimmered with the essence of unity, allowing energies to flow freely between them, fostering a sense of interconnected celebration that resonated through every atom of existence. Planets joined the dance with elegant poise, their orbits adjusting in rhythmic precision, surfaces glowing as they reflected the amplified starlight, creating auroras that bloomed across their atmospheres like cosmic fireworks, auroras in vibrant greens and purples that undulated in waves, symbolizing the renewal of cycles and the birth of new beginnings. Comets streaked through the alignment, their tails elongating into vast veils of glittering dust, tails that interacted with planetary fields to produce sparkling showers, phenomena where particles ignited in soft bursts of light, raining down harmlessly as blessings upon the gathering, each streak a note in the conjunction's uplifting melody. Nebulae expanded in response, their gaseous forms billowing outward like blooming flowers, colors intensifying as they absorbed the collective glow, releasing spores of nascent light that seeded future stars, a process that evoked deep emotional resonance, reminding all beings of the endless potential within the universe's embrace. Asteroid belts contributed their own subtle wonders, tumbling rocks aligning into temporary rings that encircled key points of convergence, their surfaces catching light to sparkle like jewels in a crown, phenomena that stabilize the energies, ensuring the conjunction's flow remained smooth and celebratory. Black holes at the periphery hummed with gravitational songs, their event horizons rippling faintly, drawing in stray energies to recycle them into bursts of Hawking radiation that added twinkling accents to the display, a harmonious integration that balanced the immense with the infinitesimal. The conjunction's peak manifested as a central vortex of light, where all bodies' influences met, creating a pillar of eternal brilliance that pierced the dimensions, phenomena that allowed glimpses into parallel realms, visions of alternate harmonies that inspired awe and transformation. Each glimpse a revelation of the cosmos' boundless joy. Solar winds swept through the alignment, carrying perfumes of ionized particles that filled the space with invigorating scents, winds that gently propelled smaller bodies into place, enhancing the overall rhythm, while quasars in the distance pulsed in solidarity, their beams syncing with the pillar's glow, amplifying the light to illuminate hidden corners of the galaxy. This grand conjunction, with its myriad phenomena, served as the perfect backdrop for initiations, its energies uplifting all who partook, fostering emotional depths of fulfillment and renewal, each element repeating in celebratory cycles. Align, glow, harmonize, drawing Orion ever closer to the luminous citadel in a wave of wondrous exaltation. Arriving at the luminous citadel amid the conjunction's splendor, Orion's final initiation commenced, a ceremony rich in details and symbolism that marked his ascension as a starcatcher. The citadel itself a towering edifice of pure light, its spires reaching toward the converging bodies, walls that shifted in translucent waves, symbolizing the fluidity of memory and light. The initiation began in the citadel's grand hall, a vast chamber where floors of mirrored crystal reflected the conjunction's lights, creating infinite illusions of alignment, symbolism of the eternal reflections within one's soul, elders of the cosmic order gathering in a circle of glowing forms, their presences radiating transformative energy, chanting in harmonious tones that echoed the universe's pulse. Each chant a layer of blessing that enveloped Orion in uplifting resonance. Details of the ceremony unfolded with ceremonial precision, Orion stepping onto a central dais carved from primordial crystal, the dais elevating slowly as light beams from the conjunction funneled through the citadel's apex, bathing him in a cascade of colors, symbolism of the cosmos embrace welcoming him into guardianship. Elders presented artifacts of significance, a vial of nebula essence for emotional depth, a shard of comet ice for nomadic wisdom, a thread of starlight for enduring brilliance, each item placed upon the dais, merging with Orion's essence in symbolic unions that represented the integration of all his journeys, the process repeating in rhythmic offerings, each one deepening the emotional bond to the universe. Symbolism abounded in every gesture, the elders' hands weaving patterns in the air that manifested as glowing runes, runes signifying completion and new beginnings, their forms spiraling like the conjunction outside, evoking the cycle of transformation without end. Orion recited vows of guardianship, words that flowed like light through space, vowing to preserve and nurture the memories of stars, each vow sealed with a pulse of his inner glow, symbolism of personal commitment illuminating the collective. The ceremony's climax involved the invocation of the eternal cycle, where projections of stellar births and fades danced around him, details of light particles coalescing into forms that touched his being, infusing him with knowledge of the cycle's beauty, a transformative experience that resonated with joy and fulfillment. Throughout, the initiation's pace was celebratory, each phase building upon the last in uplifting progression, symbolism of the mantle's bestowal approaching, the elders circling closer, their energies merging in a vortex of light that lifted Orion higher, preparing him for the weaving of his own memories. The ceremony a masterpiece of cosmic artistry that left all participants in a state of profound, resonant harmony. Weaving his own life memories into the cosmic tapestry formed the heart of the initiation. A personal process that unfolded with deep emotional resonance, Orion drawing forth threads of his experiences from within, each thread a luminous strand glowing with the hues of his journey. From the first star shards capture in azure blues, to the nebula blooms in vibrant pinks, to the comet dust in sparkling silvers. The process began with introspection on the dais, Orion closing his ethereal eyes to summon memories, feeling them rise like gentle bubbles from his core, each one a vignette of wonder. The observatory's serene halls, the weaver's harmonious looms, the garden's blooming peace, the chaser's flowing voyages, the heart's primordial warmth, the vault's methodical crystals, all emerging in rhythmic sequence, repeating in meditative recall. Details of the weaving involved guiding these threads toward a vast tapestry suspended above, a living canvas woven from the universe's collective memories, its surface undulating like a sea of light, Orion's hands moving in graceful arcs, threading his azure shard memory into a corner of the weave, watching as it intertwined with existing patterns, symbolism of his beginnings merging with the eternal, the process repeating with each memory. Pink blooms adding layers of nurturing growth, silver, dust infusing nomadic freedom, each integration pulsing with transformative energy that strengthened the tapestry's glow. Emotional resonance deepened as personal moments wove in, memories of connections with mentors like Vesper and Etheron, threads of golden warmth that evoked fulfillment, the weaving a celebratory act of self-integration, each knot tied with intent, balancing light and shadow in harmonious bonds, without a trace of sadness, only joyous completion. The process continued in flowing rhythms, Orion's essence expanding with each weave, memories of destiny revelations from the heart adding radiant cores, transforming the tapestry into a brighter whole, a personal journey now part of the cosmic narrative, uplifting him toward new beginnings. Receiving the Starcatcher's mantle of light crowned the weaving, the elders channeling the conjunction's energies into a cloak of shimmering brilliance, the mantle draping over Orion in a cascade of light, its fabric alive with embedded stars that pulsed in sync with his heartbeat, symbolism of guardianship embodied, granting him powers to catch and preserve across realms. Understanding the eternal cycle of starlight came as revelations during the mantle's bestowal, visions flowing through him of light's birthing, shining, fading, and rebirthing, a cycle of endless renewal that resonated with deep joy, preparing him as a guardian. The celebration with all cosmic beings erupted in the Citadel's halls, beings from every realm gathering in luminous throngs, their forms mingling in dances of light, revelations about the universe's memory unfolding in shared stories, how all essences contributed to a collective remembrance that sustained existence, celebrations filled with harmonious chimes and glowing toasts, emotional resonance peaking in unity. Final revelations deepened the joy, unveiling how memories formed the universe's soul, eternal and evolving, Orion preparing to become a guardian of light, his role clear and uplifting. As the celebrations waned in gentle fade, Orion felt the pull toward his legacy, flowing naturally to the Starcatcher's legacy where his guardianship would bloom eternal, the journey continuing in cosmic exaltation. With the Starcatcher's mantle of light draped softly over his luminous form, its embedded stars pulsing in gentle harmony with the grand conjunction's fading glow, Orion felt the universe's embrace release him into the vast expanse, a completion that circled back to new beginnings, drawing him toward his first solo starcatching mission amid the eternal rhythms of the cosmos, where legacies bloomed like stars in the night sky, inviting a reflective journey of independence and purpose, each moment a soothing whisper in the narrative's circular flow. The mantle's light infused Orion with a profound sense of readiness, its threads weaving through his essence like warm currents in a tranquil sea, guiding him away from the luminous citadel toward a distant cluster where a star prepared its graceful descent, a mission that marked his independence, unfolding in waves of peaceful exploration without the guidance of elders or companions, only the cosmos itself as his gentle companion. As he glided through the void, the mantle shimmered with hues of silver and gold, illuminating hidden paths among asteroid drifts and nebula veils, paths that curved like the arcs of forgotten orbits, each turn a rhythmic breath that synced with his inner pulse, fostering a deep sense of self-reliance amid the stars' serene watch. Orion's first solo star-catching mission began with a subtle shift in the cosmic fabric, a faint vibration that resonated through the mantle, alerting him to the star's approach, a star whose light had nurtured worlds for eons, now ready to release its essence in a slow, deliberate fall, like a leaf drifting from an ancient tree in autumn's calm. He positioned himself in a pocket of space, his form floating effortlessly, the mantle extending into a net of woven brilliance, threads that hummed softly as they unfurled, ready to receive without haste or force, each strand a symbol of his newfound independence, reflecting the lessons from observatory halls to vault chambers, all converging in this singular act of guardianship. The star descended in graceful spirals, its trail a ribbon of soft amber light that painted the surrounding void in warm gradients, light that evoked memories of dawn on distant planets, and Orion felt the mantle respond, its stars aligning to match the descent's rhythm. A harmonious attunement that required no words, only the quiet focus of his essence, independence blooming as he guided the net with intuitive grace, the process repeating in meditative cycles. Extend, attune, embrace, each phase, deepening his connection to the cosmos. Sensory immersion enveloped him, the star's warmth brushing his form like a gentle breeze, cosmic sounds whispering in faint chimes as plasma winds sighed, textures of light yielding like silk under his touch, all blending into a therapeutic flow that celebrated his solo mastery. As the net enveloped the star softly, absorbing its light into orbs of preserved memory, Orion experienced a surge of fulfilling autonomy, the mission's success a testament to his journey's arc, independence not as isolation but as harmonious integration with the universe's flow, the captured essence pulsing with stories of ancient galaxies and serene planetary dances, echoes that he cradled gently, ready to weave into greater patterns. This first mission circled back to his origins, reminding him of the observatory's quiet wonders, now carried forward in his own light, a circular narrative where beginnings and endings intertwined in eternal peace, his mantle glowing brighter with the accomplishment, inviting him to establish his own sanctuary among the stars, the mission's closure a soothing transition to legacy's dawn. With the star's light secured, Orion drifted toward a serene expanse in the cosmos, a pocket of space where gravitational harmonies converged in balanced tranquility, there establishing his own observatory among the stars, a haven woven from the mantle's threads and fragments of preserved memories, its form emerging like a blooming flower from the void, spires of light spiraling upward in graceful curves, walls translucent and shifting, reflecting the surrounding constellations in soft mirrors of eternity. This observatory, named the Mantle Haven, floated in perpetual harmony, anchored by the gentle pull of nearby star clusters, its architecture a reflection of his independence, chambers blooming organically from his intent, each one dedicated to the arts he had mastered, echoing halls for sonic memories, blooming groves for emotional blooms, weaving looms for light patterns, all interconnected in rhythmic flows that mirrored the universe's cycles. Establishing this sanctuary unfolded in methodical serenity, Orion guiding strands of mantle light to form the foundations, strands that pulsed with the captured star's essence, infusing the structure with warmth and resilience, independence shining as he shaped viewing portals that magnified distant phenomena, portals framed by vines of comet silk that trailed faint glows, inviting future visitors to gaze in peaceful wonder. The observatory's core featured a central atrium where preserved orbs floated freely, their lights dancing in harmonious patterns, a space for reflection where Orion could attune to the cosmos whispers. His solo mission's success now a cornerstone, the haven growing layer by layer in celebratory repetition. Weave, illuminate, harmonize, each edition deepening its soothing presence. Sensory details enriched the establishment, the air humming with subtle vibrations from nearby nebulae, textures of light walls smooth like polished pearl, hues shifting in gentle gradients that evoked calm, all fostering a therapeutic atmosphere where independence met communal promise. The observatory a legacy in formation, ready to welcome new starcatchers, its lights pulsing an invitation to those drawn by the mantle's glow. A circular return where his solitude blossomed into shared wisdom. As the mantle haven stabilized in its celestial birth, Orion turned to teaching new starcatchers the ancient ways, drawing fledgling beings from across the galaxies, their forms shimmering with nascent light, eager to learn under his guidance, establishing a legacy of knowledge that flowed like eternal streams, each lesson a soothing transmission of mastery and purpose. The teaching began in the atrium, where orbs of preserved memories floated, Orion demonstrating the attunement to descending stars, his voice a melodic cadence that blended with the observatory's hum, sharing stories of his first mission, the weaving of memories, the balance of light and time, all in rhythmic sequences that encouraged gentle practice. New catchers, like young Alara with her twilight hues, absorbed the ways with wide-eyed wonder, Orion guiding their hands in net weaving, threads of light intertwining in repetitive patterns, legacy building as he recounted the grand conjunction's joys, the vault's crystallizations, each tale a layer in their education, fostering emotional resonance and transformative growth. In the blooming groves, he taught the nurturing of memory blooms, petals unfurling under their touch, lessons repeating in meditative cycles. Plant, attune, preserve, establishing bonds that echoed his own journey, the observatory alive with their harmonious efforts, lights mingling in celebratory unity. Legacy deepened through shared voyages, Orion leading small groups on comet chases, teaching the reading of tales and dust harvesting. His mantles glow a beacon of wisdom, stories of the galaxy's heart inspiring their aspirations, each teaching moment a thread in the cosmic tapestry, ensuring the ancient ways endured, new catchers evolving into guardians, their presences radiating fulfillment, a circular narrative where his independence became a foundation for generations, soothing in its continuity and purpose. The eternal cycle of preserving cosmic memories wove through every aspect of Orion's legacy, a cyclical nature that reflected in the observatory's rhythms, where captured lights were woven, nurtured, and released to birth new stars. Reflections on this cycle coming in peaceful meditations amid the atrium's glow. Orion pondering how memories flowed like light through time, birthing, shining, transforming, rebirthing in endless harmony, each phase a gentle wave in the universe's breath. Reflections deepened on his journey, from the first shard's capture to the mantle's bestowal, a path of wondrous circles where lessons returned in new forms, the cycle's beauty evoking deep satisfaction, preserving memories not as ends but as continuations, connecting all beings in luminous threads, philosophical undertones soothing the soul, repetitions of light's dance. Rise, peak, fade, renew, mirroring existence's serenity. Orion's purpose clear as guardian of this flow, legacy ensured in the cycle's embrace. In quiet alcoves, he reflected on purpose, the mantle's pulses syncing with his thoughts, cyclical nature revealing how his teachings propagated the preservation, future generations catching lights that held his woven memories. A satisfying conclusion where independence met eternity, reflections flowing like cosmic rivers, in and out, legacy and cycle intertwined in peaceful resolution. As the mantle haven pulsed with the activities of new catchers, Orion drifted to a serene vista on the observatory's edge, engaging in peaceful reflection on his journey and purpose. The stars twinkling in approval, his mantle's light softening as he contemplated the arcs of his path. A gentle return to the celestial rhythms where time blended into infinity, each breath a synchronization with the universe's hum, fostering a deep sense of completion and tranquility.